Okay, more rain today, huh? Although I have to go to a lot of different places, so let's see if I can find a dry spot anywhere. And with that in mind, what did I read today? How about this one was kind of interesting. In terms of restricting drones around farmland, that's going to be, I guess, an issue if it conflicts with federal laws, huh? But what does it have to say here? It says, Iowa Senate advances bill to strengthen rules against drones over farmland. As it says here, Iowa senators advanced a bill Monday to provide farms 40 acres or larger with state protection against surveillance by drones. Lawmakers approved a law in 2024 to prohibit remote piloted aircraft from flying over animal feeding operations and homesteads and creates misdemeanor penalties for those who operate a drone over these areas. Senate Files 491 would alter the law from protecting only secured farmstead defined as an animal feeding operation and up to 400 feet surrounding it to a farmstead, which is at least 40 continuous acres used for farming or pastures and generates at least $15,000 in farm commodity sales annually. The bill would also prohibit the use of a drone without the landowner's permission within 400 feet of farm animals, farm equipment, or structures, including animal feeding operations, farmer residence, manure storage, barns, and other structures. Senator Dan Zembeck R. Ryan said the remote-operated aircraft scare livestock and invade a farmer's privacy, saying, quote, "Farmers don't want their privacy invaded any more than you and I." And they do add how here it says, current law makes it a simple misdemeanor to fly over the restricted areas and a serious misdemeanor with fines up to $2,560 if the drone is equipped with surveillance devices that capture audio or video. The Senate bill would further specify the surveillance includes the transmission of images or sound that can identify the species of farm animals and the type or use of equipment and structures on a farmstead. Yeah, again, is that actually legal overall in terms of not conflicting with the federal laws? Because there are a lot of places that say they ban drone flights here and there when realistically they don't own the airspace and they don't control it overall. I could see if the guy is right on the farmland, for example, landing and taking off, that's a little different. But yeah, how about if people are just flying over it in general or capturing it from like a distance? And I was reading this where they said there was something to do with, I guess, drone attacks possibly and stuff as well, where the White House in the US had a plan against Yemen's Houthis, like I said here, but what apparently happened was somebody like a reporter was included in their chat group, and because of that, they got all the information on what they plan to do and their thoughts. Like, wow, that's really bad, isn't it? This one says, White House admits classified war plan against Yemen's Houthis was accidentally sent to journalists. The White House on Monday confirmed that a journalist was included in a group chat in the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other top officials discussed upcoming strikes against Yemen's Houthi rebels. President Donald Trump announced strikes on March 15th, but in a shocking security breach, the Atlantic magazine's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, wrote that he had hours of advance notice via the group chat on Signal. The message thread that was reported appears to be authentic, and we are reviewing how an inadvertent number was added to the chain. National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes said, yeah, how does that happen? That's really bad, isn't it? It says the Houthi rebels, who have controlled much of Yemen for more than a decade, are part of the axis of resistance of pro-Iran groups staunchly opposed to Israel and the United States. They have launched scores of drones and missile attacks at ships passing Yemen and the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden during the Gaza war, claiming solidarity with the Palestinians. And you can see all the chats and so forth of the apparent reporter that was included. And I guess that in itself was creating controversy because people were saying, what are you doing? Releasing classified information even if you were in the group to the public? And people are saying they're just doing it, I guess, for attention and all that. But I guess with that in mind, did you prosecute a reporter for doing this, or are they just, quote, doing their job per se? It does make you wonder how that actually happened. I would imagine you could see, for example, who's there and so forth. Some people are claiming it was planted somehow. I don't know, but either way, that's a huge security breach, huh? And another big news today where apparently the company 23andMe that specializes in genetic testing, where I believe, I never tried it myself, but I think people swab themselves, for example, or something like that, and they send it to the company, and then with all their genetic information, they could get various data from it. But I guess this company is filing for bankruptcy per se, and with that, people are concerned. What happens with all the data, for example? So you can read the official post here first saying the 23andMe Special Committee released news today indicating their plan to take the company through the Chapter 11 process. While I'm disappointed that we have come to this conclusion and my bid was rejected, I am supportive of the company and I intend to be a bidder. I have resigned as CEO of the company so I can be in the best position to pursue the company as an independent bidder. 19 years ago, when I co-founded 23andMe, the direct-to-consumer industry did not exist and most people had no idea why they would ever want to see their genome. So much has changed. There is now a thriving direct-to-consumer industry and over 15 million people are now 23andMe customers. These customers are continuing to learn about their family relationships and how to optimize their health thanks to the incredible team of individuals at 23andMe who innovate and help customers gain insights from their genetic information. So again, if somebody buys it, what happens to all the data where there's even warnings from attorney generals? Like this one says, Bonta urgently issues consumer alert for 23andMe customers. It's essentially telling them how they can delete their data, I guess, from the site because you never know. If it gets sold to, let's just say, I don't know, a foreign country or something like that, can you imagine that? Having this huge database of genetic information? I mean, people are worried about just raw data, for example, like, I don't know, search queries and stuff like that with Google, but how about this? Wow, that's crazy. In terms of bankruptcy though, remember that news about that company here, the Hudson Bay Company, and how they were doing really bad? Well, apparently a lot of stores are starting to clear things out now, so I was gonna go take a look to see what it's like. All the politics are starting, I'm guessing, by the looks of it. Huh, I guess I'll get what I can here, huh? See you guys later.